Any of the biologics can be used in the bone because the group out of the University of Paris has well demonstrated for joint purposes, for enhancing joints, for helping cartilage repair and regenerate.
There we go. There's that thing again.
See how we planned that? If you took a population of patients and you injected half of them in the bone adjacent to the joint and half of them in the joint itself, and you said it very well earlier, into where I call it biological rubber, but you called it just the cushiony,
jelly stuff.
Yeah, the jelly stuff. It's barely cellular. It's not. It's the least alive part of you is cartilage, really. So you know how your scalp, the cells in your scalp, the follicles make hair. Hair is not a cell; it's a protein product. Cartilage is the protein product of certain type of cells called chondrocytes. Those chondrocytes live in your bone edge.
Okay.
In what used to be called the growth plate when you were growing.
Right.
And when you look very closely at detailed MRIs of people with joint degeneration, you see metabolic derangement and inflammation in the cells in the bone just adjacent to the joint. In the spine, we call those modic changes. It's degenerative marrow. And what's happening is the cells that were supposed to keep making those collagen proteins aren't working. They're inflamed, and that process is osteoarthritis. And it can be accelerated by having an injury. It can be accelerated by having like a scope surgery, an arthroscope surgery where you have to trim up something, and you may need that surgery. But it accelerates this osteoarthritic wearing down of the cartilage until you're bone on bone, and that's where people get a joint replacement. Those are the people I want to help avoid that replacement. And the French have shown that if you inject the bone, you have a much better outcome and a longer outcome than if you just inject the joint. So I'm almost exclusively now doing the bone edge injections, and we do sedate people for that because you're right, it doesn't feel pleasant.
No, it would be unpleasant. There's nothing about that feels like it would be a good time.
Right.
Although, having lived through my husband's hip resurfacing, I can tell you that's no fun. So this can't be any worse than that. So that's interesting. So we're using platelet-rich plasma to inject into the bone edge, you said. So you're actually getting it into the bone to get it to the chondrocytes?
Correct.
Like you're not